This is Tile TBD. We are gathered here in this II vlog to congratulate the bodacious droid TBD, or you may know her as Bobot, as she takes her first step of finding her own identity. But that's not all. We will be talking about the 9th contest of Inanimate Insanity, which is about the final 10 contestants making a cartoon with some help from a surprising guest star. And I will be doing an elimination recap at the end of this video to talk about the 9 contestants who've been eliminated so far, because one of them will get another chance to rejoin the game. Now, for this episode's guest star, this was a guest star that I was not expecting in over a million years. When I was thinking a guest star in an object show, I would be thinking like someone from the object show community. You know, someone from the exit interviews like Bribey, Satomi, or those other people. Or even the creators of Battle for Dream Island, Kerry and Michael Wong. But no, they actually got someone outside of the object show community. And it's none other than Saberspark. Now, for those of you who don't know, Saberspark is an animation reviewer on YouTube. He does review the latest animated movie on streaming and on theaters. He does sometimes review cartoon shows like Green Eggs and Ham, Infinity Train, and sharing his Hi About the Learning with Pippi video on Adult Swim. But he's also known for reviewing bad anime movies, the worst he can find, like the Alpha Omega movies, L Bowling, and more. He also done some editorial videos like what ruined this cartoon or what ruined this company, like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney, and more. But you may have known him for reviewing the infamous animated CGI film Joshua and the Promised Land, and also made a re-animated video out of it with some help from some animators. Now, when it comes to Saberspark as an anime reviewer on YouTube, he's actually a cool guy. He's one of the anime reviewers I usually watch next to Animat and Cellspec, and I think he really did a wonderful job in his role on this episode of Inanimate Insanity. In this episode, he plays an object character called Zoetro, which is an old-fashioned 19th century animation device which clicks one frame at a time, where he explains the process of making a cartoon, which consists of 5 roles: the director, the writer, the artist, the craft services, and the fundraiser. Throughout most of the episode, he and Mifo made fun of the idea that animation takes months to complete, where in this object show, it actually takes seconds to complete it all. All you need is this device called the animation machine, and throw in a lot of money as possible, a couple of script pages, and an art style. The minute that Saberspark's character first appear and speak on screen, you can tell, oh yeah, that is Saberspark, and he totally nailed that performance, capturing the professionalism about the process of animation. If there was a Saberspark multiverse video, I would totally believe that this character would be Saberspark's object avatar. As for the final 10, they each got an equal amount of screen time, but also present a lot of character growth throughout most of the episode, particularly on Bobot, where she tries to find her own identity, and to prove herself that she's not Bo at all, she's trying to be her own character. For example, Test 2 fixed Bobot's head, and now she can see and hear everything now, including chairs and marshmallows. When she encounters a chair for the very first time, she doesn't seem fazed by it at all, no excitement or anything. She just shrugs like whatever, showing that she's trying to be her own character, not Bo at all. But it doesn't stop there. Tetsu asks Bobot if she really wants chocolate cake, since she's trying to make sure that Bobot does not become Bo at all 100%. While Bobot explains that she can still like chocolate cake even if she's modeled after the real Bo. And there's also a cool feature that Bobot can now stretch her legs to reach high places. There's also this side plot with Goo that he got his happiness and optimism back after feeling paranoid about Bo not having an aura, but after learning the truth about Bobot, he's now feeling happy again and wants to show his friendship to her. As it is a challenge about making a cartoon, some of the contestants did well based on the roles they were given, like Balloon, where he's stuck in between 2 places as a fundraiser or craft services. So he did a fundraiser to get enough people to donate some money to get some food for the Pinkers by reading some poetry. For the Thinkers, there was a good team up with Candle and Yin Yang, and they brought back Candle's Inner Flame, which we haven't seen since the Overthinkers episode, and it's pretty cool. But then comes the director's roles with Test Tube and Nickel. With Test Tube, she's trying to keep a low profile after the whole cabbie incident and the reveal of Bobot, so she volunteered to become the director and just give out the order. That way, if anything goes wrong, the target will be shifted on someone else. And just when you think Superstitious Nickel is finally over, they're not done with Nickel about his paranoia about luck. He seems to be having a good day so far. He gets to be the director with no objections, and he gets a modest amount of money thanks to Candle and Yin Yang. But despite his newfound luck, he still believes that Clover's luck is a curse and it might go 180 on him later. And he says that he thinks that the contestants just value him for his luck than anything else as a character. And crazy enough, this is the best development I've seen from Nickel next to his separation from Balloon after the dissolvement of the Sinkers. As for the two cartoons they presented in this episode, I actually laugh at both of them. The first one, by the Pinkers, I laugh hard on how it ended. And for the second one, by the Thinkers, it was actually crazy because it wasn't even a cartoon. It was all live action. They just have a cast member dressed up as a knight worshipping a toaster. It was like they were either parodying a Monty Python movie or recommending their favorite underrated Disney movie. So in conclusion, this was a fun episode with a surprising guest star, some funny jokes, and some great character growth from the final 10. But now, it's time to talk about the 9 eliminated contestants that were eliminated on Season 3, because one of them will get a chance to rejoin the game. Now, if you haven't watched the latest episode, or you haven't cut out to any of the episodes of Season 3, now would be the time to exit this video and come back later. But if you've already seen the episode and just don't care about it, well, let's continue. The first eliminated contestant is Blueberry, the bluest member of his own team. He was the only one of the Sinkers that didn't jump off the cliff, which causes their entire team to lose. But in the end, it was his pessimistic nature and gloominess that got him kicked out. Yet he seems happy to stay on Indefinite Island. Does he really want to go back to Inanimate Insanity for another chance? Fan was a fan of Inanimate Insanity, but now he turned to a favorite in Season 3. When he saw that file from Cappy about himself, he was not pleased with the results and his flaws. Because of this argument, Cappy rallied up the votes to get rid of Fan once and for all. Despite he's a fan of Inanimate Insanity, he decided not to stay on Indefinite Island for another chance after his past adventure with aliens, which means Fan will not be rejoining Inanimate Insanity again. Lightframe was considered the team captain of the Sinkers, but he was off to a rocky start after he failed the cliff diving challenge, but he did redeem himself with the new team name. But then he went right back at the bottom with his new strategy plan with the Snapshot Showdown challenge. And since the All-Star Alliance with Balloon, Nickel, and Box is still intact, they decided to vote him out. But given that he used to be a lifeguard, does Lightning have what it takes to rejoin the game? OJ is the only Inanimate Insanity contestant to win Inanimate Insanity as a whole. Even though Ying Ying had the most votes from the contestants, he was saved by the immunity votes from the viewers. This gives Silver Spoon an opportunity to eliminate OJ to get rid of his championship. However, there is no sign of OJ on Indefinite Island, which is likely he left the island so he can go back to the hotel as the manager again. Box has been playing both sides of the Sinkers for the newbies and the All-Stars. He pulled up 2 Sun votes for Nickel and Balloon, which questions their alliance with each other. It resulted in TKL and Nickel fighting against each other to have Box on their side, but in the end, it caused Box to have a freak accident, so he was eliminated in the competition by injury. As of now, there has yet to be a recovery status update by Dr. Fizz, which means it's unlikely that Box will be rejoining the game with the others. TKL was the only newbie left on the Sinkers, and she did her best to stay in the game. She tried to be a good mother to both Balloon and Nickel, and even tried to separate the two to have Balloon side with her. But in the end, Balloon didn't want to do it and just stick with Nickel all the way through. Will her mother love and caring nature guide her to her second chance? Cabby was considered the serious newbie on Season 3 as she is a master planner. Even though she has files on everyone about their pros and cons, everything changed when Mifone disarranged and rearranged the teams. She tried to form an alliance with Tetsu despite in previous episodes they were in good terms with each other. However, Tetsu was not pleased on how she was playing the game, so she decided to blindside her by presenting the other files to their respective contestants. And after spending a long time on Indefinite Island, confused and betrayed, can Cabby reset her own gameplay? Clover has been skeptical about herself and her own luck ever since the Box incident. It was her own luck that got Box eliminated from the competition, so she tried to do whatever it takes to stay positive and make sure she used her luck for good. When she tried to use her own luck to get rid of her own luck, it ended up backfiring on everyone by swapping bodies, which Nickel did not approve. So the only logical thing she could do is just eliminate herself by using her own luck, by tampering with MePhone's voting machine. She was the only contestant that did not get hit by the fist thingy. Instead, she left the island by butterfly, which means she is not on Indefinite Island and she will not be rejoining the game. And finally, the recent eliminated contestant Goo, even though he was super happy about Bobot and the truth and expressing his friendship with her, it was his own complicated script that got himself eliminated and wasting $10 million on his own team. But now that Goo filled in the gap for that second chance on Indefinite Island, is he optimistic enough to get back in the game? And there you have it, everyone. We officially have 5 eliminated contestants where one of them will get a chance to rejoin the game. But as of now, we don't know what they're going to do with them to help decide who will rejoin Inanimate Insanity Season 3. We're just going to have to wait and see. But for everything else, what will Nickel do with his newfound luck? And will Candle and Ying Ying stay a powerful duo? We'll find out soon enough. In the meantime, Karate!